Hey guys, I'm aMayesing and so are you, and welcome to how to make a stop motion Lego animation with Blender. Um, so, okay, I don't know what that was. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our scene. Um, so to do that, we are going to go to our browser and search up Mechabricks. This is a website where people can make Lego sets and like different characters and things like that. So as you can see, there's different like Lego models here, and we'll go into search. We are going to use the trash compactor scene from Star Wars. We're going to use this one here. So we'll click on it. We'll go to editor. We'll let this load. And once this loads in, depending on your computer, you don't want to move the scene very much, as it could crash the website. Okay, so this is the scene. As you can see, I have Leia, Han, and Chewbacca, and then Leia and Chewbacca have most of their pieces because the website doesn't have their like pieces put in yet. But as you can see, Han Solo and Luke both have um, shows, so we will be looking at that in a second. To download this, you can go to File, Export, and we're going to use wavefront.obj, and you can say logo on studs, and then you'll hit the export button. I'm not going to hit export because sometimes it just crashes. But to get the Stormtrooper torso, we are just going to look up Stormtrooper, and we're going to use this one right here. It's a clone trooper, but it's Stormtrooper. And then we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to go to Editor. And then File, Export, Wavefront, OBJ. You can do locals on studs if you want, and then you'll just hit Export. So I'm going to cancel out of that. And then if we go to the trash compactor animation, and I've just put this in my Blender file, but if we go to the trash compactor animation, we have the diorama right here. So we will extract all. And we will also extract the Stormtrooper. And then there's some other things that you will need for this. So you will also need Blender. So just download the newest version. And then you will also want EpicFigRig, because this is the animation model for Legos. You can use any one that you want, but this one is pre-made. And you'll just hit code and then download .zip. And then we have that. And yes, we will also unzip this. So in this episode, I'm just going to show you how to set up the scene. In the next episode, we will do character customization, like if you want to make your own character. Let's see, I did not do that. So we'll delete this, delete the sun in the cube, and then we'll go File, Import, wavefront.obj, and we'll want to find our folder that we made. So we'll get the diorama first, and you want to make sure it's the .obj, and we'll import the obj. Okay, so as you can see, it's fairly big. We don't want to move it too much. But what we're going to do is we're going to move the camera into scene collection by just clicking on it, dragging. Then we're going to rename this by double clicking it. We're just going to name it Trash Compactor Scene. And we'll hit Control S to save it. And we'll look for our trash compactor animation folder. We'll just do trash compactor scene. And we'll save the Blender file so that we have it. Okay. And then we'll do a new collection. We'll just call this camera. And we will click on the camera, drag and drop it in, and then we'll drag the folder and put it on top. And we can close that. Then we'll get a new collection. We'll just name this Stormtrooper because we're going to need its chest pieces and leg pieces. So we'll do import, wavefront OBJ, go back, click on the Stormtrooper, make sure it's the clone trooper printed legs.obj. I did rename the file just so that I had it. So there's our Stormtrooper. We're going to hit RZ, make sure that blue line shows up, and we're just going to do 180 on our numpad. And we'll hit Control S because this is where it might crash Blender. We'll hit GZ, and we want to make sure it's on the same plane as Han Solo because he's the only one standing up, so we want to make sure that they match. So we'll do GX and then GY. Okay. Let's see. Just make sure they are about the same height, which it looks like they are. Are they the same width? Let's see here. We want to make sure they're exactly the same width-wise, or else it'll look weird when we take his stuff. What we'll do is we'll go into Stormtrooper, we'll click on the helmet, we'll hit this eye, and as you can see, it looks pretty fine. So we'll select all with clicking the bottom one, and then holding Shift and clicking the top. We'll do GX, we'll just put it right here, and then what we can do is go on the top of the trash compactor scene, go all the way down with the scroll wheel. We'll hold Shift and do all that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit S, and we're just going to scale it down. And it doesn't matter how small you make it, you just want to make it small enough so that when we start changing things, the Blender will not crash because of how big it is. So you may be wondering why the mask is not showing and why their faces aren't showing. Up here on the top right, we are in the viewport shading as the solid mode. You want to go to the right and do viewport shading material preview. There you go. So now we have their face and the clone trooper's armor and stuff like that. And we'll talk about why it's black instead of white in just a second. But as you can see here, there's like weird shading and like triangles and things like that. Also with his hair and their hair and some of these pieces. So what you want to do, you want to hit A to select all. You'll right click and you'll do shade smooth. And then if you look again, it's all smooth and looks like a Lego. So we'll hit Control S. And just to save some time, we are going to close out of Blender. We're going to open our folder, going back to the animation. We're going to do we're going to go in the trash compactor diorama, go to textures. We are looking for 2 official color. And so these are the faces and then Leia's outfit. So we're just going to rename these so that we know what they are. So this is Luke. This is Han. This is Leia. And then this is Leia's shirt. And then we'll go back out of the trash compactor. We'll go into the Stormtrooper. We'll go into his textures, number 2, I believe. Yeah. And we'll say torso. And then this is the right leg. And this is the, well, I did not mean to open that. And this is the left leg. So now what we want to do, I'm going to empty my recycling bin. That's not what you have to do. So you want to find an editor, photo editing software. I use this one, and everything that I'm using will be in the description down below so that you can follow along. All you need to do is you need to open the image, and we are looking for our Blender file again. So that's here. And then you want to do the trash compactor because we'll get the faces first. So let's do Luke first. So I already have the skin tone. It's E8B EAC. And what you do is you want to get the bucket tool here, the fill tool, and just click, and their face will be good. And then you can do save as. Go back into the trash compactor. And then we can save it as Luke. We'll wait for that to download. And there we go. So then we go home, open image, do Leia. There you go. Control save. Leia. Okay. Then we'll do Han. Okay. And then we'll do Leia's shirt. And this one you can just use white. It's just all F or just the very top left of any color. We'll just fill it again. Make sure you save it as Leia's shirt. Okay. And then I'll delete those or close those. And we'll go textures, Death Star Contraptor, the animation. We'll go back into the Stormtrooper. And we just need his legs and his torso. We don't need his face. So this one's going to take a little bit more time. But you just want to fill in all of the spaces where there is these gray boxes because that's the transparent part. Keep hitting their outline and I'm hitting Control Z to undo my mistake. So go over here. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfect because these are Legos. So they will have a little bit of wear and tear on them from just playtime and other things. But I like to do my best to fill in as many spots as I can. Okay, so that's the torso. We want to make sure that we're saving it to the Stormtrooper. So that was the torso. I already did that. I'm going to do that again. So then we'll open up his leg. And yeah, we'll paint this all white. Okay, and then we'll do his left leg, and then we will be done with the coloring part. There we go. Okay, so We'll open Blender again. So we'll open the scene again. And we'll give it a second to load. So as you can see, the ones that we've edited are now pink, and that's fine. All you have to do is click the different parts, go down to this red circle, and what we want to do is we want to remove that material. We'll do new. We want to do base color, hit that yellow dot, go to image texture, we'll open it. We'll do the Death Star compactor, go into our textures to official color. And since this is Luke's face, we want to do the Luke PNG. And there you go, there's Luke. Then for Leia's face, we do the same thing. We get rid of the current texture because all three of them, Luke, Leia, and Han, are sharing the textures, and we don't want that. So again, yellow dot on the base color, image texture, open. Image texture, open. Death Star textures, Leia. I may have done something wrong. What did I do? Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. So we'll just hit Control Z, Control Z. Make sure we're on her face. We'll open the image to Leia. There she is. I accidentally clicked on this and then tried changing it, which is not good. So then we'll do Han. Again, remove the texture, get a new one, base color yellow circle, image texture, open it up, and we want Han. There he is. And then we can do Leia's shirt, make sure to remove the texture, do a new one, base color, image texture, open. We want Leia's shirt. There we go. Make sure to save it now that we have the main characters done. Let's do the Stormtrooper. Remove the texture, new one. Base color, image texture, open it. We want the Stormtrooper this time. We want his torso. And then we also want these, so we'll remove his right leg. We'll open it up. Image texture. And we want the right leg. I believe that's the right one. Let me just make sure. Control, or no, GZ. I may have gotten the wrong one. Might be his left. Let me see. Yeah, okay, so that's his left leg for some reason. So then we will remove this texture. Image texture. And then we open it. And this is his right leg. So I just named them wrong, which is fine. So then we want to do that, and then hold Shift, select them all, GZ. We want to make sure he's back down by Han. So right about there, I think. Maybe a little bit higher. We don't want his feet in the ground. Let's just do a GX, make sure this is still on the same level. Looks like they are, so just Control Z to move them back. Okay, so we'll save that for a second. We'll take this off. So let's get our scene set up before we mess with the characters. So we'll go all the way to the top, we'll close this folder, we'll open our camera, and our camera is probably that yellow dot there. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit GUI, we're going to make sure it's out, and then on this clip start here on the right, we want it to be 100, we want the end to be 1000, we'll just hit Control S to save our work. And then we go to this orange square and we want to change the rotation to 0, 0. We'll change the Z axis to 180. And then we want the X axis to be negative 90. Nope, we want it to be 90. Okay. Usually it's negative 90, but that's fine. Just make sure it's facing towards your scene. And then we can go to the location on the X and make it 0 so that it's in the middle. And we'll hit 0 on our numpad to see what we have. Okay, so what we'll do is we will go back. Let's see, where was I for that? We want the clip start to be 50 instead of 100. And what we can do while we're in the camera mode and it's highlighted, we can do GZ. We can just move our mouse up like that, and we can do GY and move it out. And then we can move it up again. So that it's like that, so that you see the brown, but you don't see anything else. And also this doesn't look completely centered, so I'm going to do GX. Just slightly move it so that it looks like it's in the center. So we'll do that. And then we can go here, just make sure that we lock down the location and rotations. Scale doesn't really matter, but we can lock those as well just in case. We'll do a Control Save. And now we will do the character customization. So for the characters that we have in the scene. So what we'll do, we'll get 3 new ones. So Control C, V, V, and we'll do Shift and Select and just move them out on top. This one will be Luke. This one will be Leia. This will be Han. And we'll get one more. Move it back out. And this will be Chewbacca. I think I spelled that right. Hey guys, this is Editing aMayesing. Just wanted to let you know this part's not exactly important. All that I'm doing is I am getting all of the characters' parts moved into a selection, and I'm just naming them from like head to legs to help me like figure out their body parts when we move into the animation stage. So I'm just going to speed up this part, and then in the next episode I'll show you how I name them all with like C3PO and R2D2, even though we won't really use those. But I'm just going to speed through it. It's just labeling their hair, their head, their arms, their torso, their legs, and their hands. And then any accessories that they have. This isn't needed, but it's just an extra step that I took. Okay, back to the video. Make sure you Control S or save it when you are done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Stormtrooper's torso. I'm going to hit Control C. We're going to click on Scene Collection and hit Control V and do that twice because we have Luke and Han. We do H, and then we'll do this L for Luke and Han. So we'll do Han first, do GX, just try to line it up as perfectly as I can. We'll make sure we'll use Shift and the scroll wheel to try to match it. What we can do is find one of these trash pieces here. So looks like it's these. So I'm going to find which one. Oh, okay. Nope, that doesn't do it. That's fine. We can work with it still. What we're going to do is we're going to look for Luke, look for Han's torso. We're going to hide it. We're going to see how that looks. I want to make sure. Also going to just try to scroll out and then get a little bit closer so that I can zoom in more and see how it is. So that looks about right. However, it needs to come up just a little bit because as you can see, his neck is not right. So just do about there. His arms look good. How does his torso look? Torso looks fine. And does it look centered? How we can do this is we can click on the torso, do GZ. It doesn't look exactly centered, but it's good enough. That looks good. So we will delete Han's torso. We can go all the way down. We'll rename this torso. And we will go all the way up and put it in Han's. And then we'll do that the same for his legs. So we want his legs to be the same too. Yes, I know, thank you. We will be using that later, but not right now. So we went to Control C, do Scene Collection, 1, 2. And then we also want to do the other leg. So just click like that, Control C, Scene Collection, 1, 2. So this will be HR. This will be LR. This will be LL. And this will be LHL. There we go. So Han's left leg, Han's right leg, Luke's torso, Luke's left leg, Luke's right leg. So we'll do Luke's torso, and then I will end that there, and I'll be doing the exact same for his legs, because I feel like we've been here for a while. Let me just see how much the recording time is, because I don't want to be here for too long, but I do want to share everything that I can. Oh, we've only been here for 30 minutes. That's fine. Okay. So let's do Han's legs, actually, because they're going to be much easier than Luke's. Actually, I'm just going to try to find these pieces. I'm going to do a new collection. Do a new collection. I'm going to drag it all the way to the top. And then do that. Where'd my new collection go? Oh, it went in here. I want to move that in here. Then we'll go all the way to the top. We'll call this junk front home. Just to kind of, what we'll do is we'll hold shift and we'll just select every single trash piece that I can that is in front of Han. Okay, I think that's good so far. Just find one of them that's selected. And then we'll drag it all the way up. And we'll do junk in front of Han, and we can hide it. Then we'll also do the same for these. Just do all of this because we want to make sure that we don't need that. Okay. So where? Oh, there. So drag that all the way up. This will just help us to see Han better. We can do this with anything, but this will just help us. So we'll hit Control S. Okay. And then we'll get the legs. Do Han's right first. So we'll hit GX. We're just going to try to line it up as best we can with his current leg. So something like that. And if we hide Han's right leg, see we need to move it over just a little bit to the left. Not that much though. Actually, I think we can leave it there. Is that more than what it's showing on this side though? I might be taller than the Stormtrooper. That's fine. That's fine. It doesn't need to be perfect. So we'll remove that. Go down here. We'll do Han. We'll do just right leg. And then we'll bring it all the way up. Put it in Han. Then we'll get the left leg and do the same thing. So GX here. We're just going to do the same thing, make sure that it's lined up as good as possible. Let's see here. Let's hide the Stormtrooper so that I can see it better. Oh, and also Luke stuff. Let's see. GZ. Bring that up just a little bit. Okay, right about there. That looks good. So if we remove Han's left leg, that looks like it matches. So we're going to remove, we'll call this, nope, hold on, doing this backwards. So we're removing his left leg. We're going down here, renaming this left leg. Then we're going to bring it all the way to the top. Put it in Han, close that, close the trash compactor. We'll turn these back on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change his pants, and we'll do that for Luke as well. And then once we're done with that, we will save it there for the next episode, where we get custom characters and also designing Luke and getting the bones attached. So Luke and Han share the same pant colors. So we want to close that one, do a new, and we're going to just make the base color black. So we'll take this and we'll just go all the way down. And then we'll also make sure this is all the way bright because we need it to match. And then we can do that with Luke as well. We want to remove his texture, get a new one, make the base color dark. There you go. So we'll do Control S. And now it is saved, and we can do 0, and this is what it looks like. That looks pretty good. So I will see you guys in the next episode, where we get custom characters put in, and also designing Luke's torso and legs, and then also attaching bones. So I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one.